Welcome, everybody. This is episode 40. Nick, we're at episode 40, my man. We are almost to the one-year anniversary, but I don't want to get too ahead of ourselves because we have really important news this week. We said last week, everybody, as soon as you finish Monday's episode, go watch Ford's Model T moment. And it was the biggest nothing burger I have ever seen, and I immediately needed to get your thoughts on it. But we waited 24 hours. Let's see if anything else comes out throughout the day. So then Tuesday, Nick and I chatted. And, dude, please give us your thoughts.
This was a dog and pony show for the boardroom and the investors. This had nothing to do with the consumer. I know that, when you say something like Model T moment, you're the one that puts the pressure on. Model T moment changed things not only from a manufacturing perspective, but for us, the consumers, right?
Right.
We're just looking at it logically. Best case scenario, we're 2 years away from being 10 years away from being 15 years away, right? Let's all be clear. I've been hearing about the skateboard idea since I was in engineering school. Okay, we're going to put these skateboards and then you're just going to drop a body on them and we're going to ship cars out faster. They're going to be so cheap, it's going to blow your mind. Well, this one's starting at $30,000 2 years from now. 2 years from now.
Supposedly.
Okay, which it won't be. Remember, the Maverick was $20,000 for all of 7 minutes. Okay, it's now what, average price $34,000 for a Maverick? Okay. It seems like to me, and I hope everybody, comments and gives their opinion on our YouTube or on Spotify or wherever, this could have been an internal email. I don't see what this really, until being 2 years away from being 5 years away, from being 7 years away, when are we going to stop the insanity? But this was a play for everybody that wants the inside story. The executive team, the C-suite, Jim Farley, all those people, they saved their job for another 2 years, and that's what this is about. This had nothing to do with the consumer, in my opinion, this specific announcement.
Yeah, when we talked about it on Tuesday, just on a quick phone call, I told Nick going into it, I thought that we were going to see Ford bring some sort of announcement that was going to combine what they observed Slate was doing in the market, what they had heard that their consumers were looking for, all of this time of electrification in the Ford brand already as it is, bring it together and deliver something that could be a Maverick-esque, Slate-esque, product to the market at a price point that people want and are yelling from the rooftops that they need. We got none of that. So I do have a 2-minute video real quick. We don't even have to watch all of it, but in case people missed it, I just want to pull it up and just get a little bit of Mr. Farley's.
Yeah, we're not playing 2 minutes of this. I got about 12 seconds, and then I'm real good on the executive speak. I'm around this on a daily basis. I need this like I need a third nut, dude.
An extra hole in my head would have been one way, but that was a way to phrase it. All right, let's see.
This new truck, based on this universal platform, are going to be more spacious inside than the RAV4, the best-selling car in the United States.
Which isn't spacious.
But it will have a frunk,
and
it will have a whole pickup truck bed behind it. No one has seen this kind of flexibility. Tons of room for 5 adults, bikes, surfboards, work equipment.
Have you had 5 adults in your truck?
Whatever you need. You don't have to put it on the top. You don't have to put it on the tow hitch. It's all in the vehicle. It will be faster than our Mustang twin turbo.
Wow, that's crazy that you want to brag about that.
It will be fully connected with a brand new digital experience no one's seen in our country.
So they're charging
it will
30
offer for the first time fast charging. It will have amazing range.
All right, you get the gist of it.
Yeah. Again,
for somebody
2 years
a lot.
away, from 5 years away, from 10 years away. Hey, man, great. If this is a step forward for Ford, this is why I said this is an internal email at best. This is an internal email at best. It wasn't a Model T moment. You're not breaking any price barrier here. You already have a truck on the market that's at the $30,000 price. This is the whole EV experience. That's why it continues to be a flop. Okay. Yeah. Why these companies really struggle to get EV. It doesn't matter who it is. Okay. Of these American, whether it's the VW Auto Group, it doesn't matter. When you don't break through the price point that already exists in your lineup, what have you really done for the consumer? Because again, this may be a great step forward for them internally. I'm not saying it is or it isn't. We have not seen it in practice yet. I think one thing that would worry me as a buyer is they're like, yeah, we're going to use 20 to 30% less fasteners. Got news for you. Ford doesn't build that many good cars with 30% more fasteners. So, I mean, now we're just going to take 30% fasteners out? I mean, Jim, no offense, bud, your stock price is at $11. I mean,
Not making me feel the best.
yeah, I mean, I never look at Ford and go, real high quality vehicles. I mean, that's not my take on them. They're good. They've got good F-Series trucks, but most of them are on construction sites being fleet sales and whatnot. I don't get, and I know people that own lots of Fords through their businesses. They don't say highest quality truck I've ever driven. I mean, so we're just going to tell, hey, 30% less fasteners. Come on, man.
I wish there was more to really say about it, but that's kind of it. Like, we were both, let down by the announcement. It was a letdown to the people. If you go to any comment section, whether it was that video or any social video, it's just like, oh, cool, a digital dash with a new experience. All right. I think in their, like, full-blown, like, actual, crafted video that was supposed to be like an ad for it, I mean, they're playing Amazon Prime. They're, like, playing video games on the infotainment and on the screen. It's just like, what are we doing? I hate to sound so cynical, but this all seems really just out of the blue, out of just a whole nother galaxy with consumers that aren't looking for this, creating solutions really to not existent problems, I guess, because nothing changed on price. Nothing's changed on something that somebody's actually going to want to, bite on. I don't know. It was weird. I feel like a real huge critic to be a critic, but I feel like there's more to it, or there should have been more to it at least.
Buddy, I waited all week. I mean, I called you last night late, and I go, I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Right.
Like,
Did
is
they
this
something
this
in
is?
4 days in?
I said, this is really what they called a Model T moment. Like, oh, well, our workers are going to twist around less. That seems like an internal memo to me. That doesn't seem like something that helps me, the consumer. I want those people to have a great work environment. Don't get me wrong, but you're not breaking any barriers price-wise. The facts that car companies don't understand price barriers and how they work, that should be the concerning thing globally.
Check this
That
out.
should concern you, the consumer. It's like they seem to just sit in a boardroom and go, F the price. I mean, we're just going to charge what we got to charge, and everybody's going to. I mean, how many of you are like, I wish I could really play my Xbox on my center screen? I mean, that's what's really missing from my, RAV4 or what. I mean, but this is what everyone's betting on, and I understand there's a new generation of buyers who are going to want more tech. I realize there's people out there, you're listening, maybe you want more tech, but there's a lot of people that would trade the tech if you could break the price barrier.
Oh, yeah.
Okay?
Easily.
So, and then let's say something. Everybody's selling you how expensive the tech is, and the tech. Just remember this. It's cheaper to put everything in the screen than make a button.
Yeah.
That tells you how expensive the tech is. Once the tech platform is there, the investment has been made, it's way less than what they're making it out like, oh, tech. No, it's to benefit them. And I'm okay with that. I want you to make money, okay? I'm not one of these guys that goes, car companies shouldn't make money and everybody should give me everything for free. I want you to make a profit, man. But if you're not going to break a price barrier here, then what are we talking about? And I mean it when I say it, guys. When I was in college, the skateboard idea was all of the rage. That's 20 plus frickin' years ago. And we're 2 years away from this one being enacted. Come on. This isn't an announcement. I mean, I hope it leads to something.
Yes.
10 years from now. But 10 years from now is the Model T moment, not now, when you can't break the simple the price barrier when you're supposedly using less fasteners, using less parts, using less anything, and it costs the same as a Maverick.
One of the funny quotes from that presentation, I guess we'll call it, is that quote, "If we pull this off, you will never put an instrument panel or a seat through a door again," Ford execs told the workers.
Hey,
and I'm like,
awesome. That is internal. But again, guys, this was a dog and pony show for Wall Street. It was a dog and pony show for the board. They want to sell the board on why they should keep their job another 2 years. Like, don't think that this doesn't all play a part in that. I'm not saying it's the main driver, but it's a driver, okay? Yeah. This is what happens when executive teams, because you got to realize, you got Ford's stock price somewhere around, always hovering around 10 to 12 bucks. In 22, I think they were up to 25 and some change. They still have good growth under Jim Farley because the stock's so cheap. I mean, $4 growth is what, 60%? Yeah. I mean, since he took office or whatever. I'm going to say this. Jim Farley does an excellent job playing the public relations game. We all love that he's outspoken. We all love that he's in front of the camera. Guys, you've seen this if you're a sports guy. Football coaches, basketball coaches, baseball coaches that are great on the microphone. They get all the benefit of the doubt. Doesn't matter if they win anything.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. You don't win something and you're not good in front of the mic, they fire you lickety-split. Jim Farley is good at the public relations stuff. He seemingly is a pretty good operator when he's concentrated on it. But look at the GTD thing that we're all cheering on. Then they get beat at the Nürburgring by a car that cost $100,000 less. The Mustang sales are falling. Expedition and Explorer have lost all kinds of grip on the market. Mach-E sales have stalled, if not gone backwards. Like Bud, you got real concerns inside the brand. So guess what they do? They do this project that guarantees those executive teams another few years at the helm. If you don't think this is part of it, I'm not saying all of it, this is a part of what you saw this week. And I think that's unfortunate because nothing's ever focused on the consumer anymore. Nothing. It's all just not just with Ford, by the way. I'm not just saying this is the Ford stance. Nobody's thinking about consumer, the announcement we're about to make, and again, we're going to say it on this podcast. It's okay to be quiet. It's okay. Have your media team make some cool GTD videos. Go make some B-roll. You got plenty of media people inside these companies. Go make some cool videos. Go reach out to some creators and make some driving around videos of your vehicles. The CEO doesn't need to be out front like this, but every company's making this mistake. They talk constantly. Nobody has anything exciting to talk about, by the way. Yeah. They're just talking. And that's what we have from Ford here. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, when Nick and I talked on the phone, I remember saying, speaking of Wall Street, you mentioned that earlier. It was like they're attempting to be really clever with what they're doing, how they're presenting it to the people, so it seems like it's this big thing. But as we were talking on the phone too, if it is a Wall Street, and most likely is a Wall Street play to the investors and people who are at those executive meetings, they just earned, and you made a good point too, they earned themselves another 2 years minimum of leash. Yes. Because you can't get rid of this team that just made this huge announcement that's making this big initiative and putting, $2 billion into the plant to build and this is how some of the EV websites obviously are going to spin it, which is fine. That's their thing. They just put $2 billion into upgrading this plant to build a $30,000 electric truck on a new platform that's going to radically revolutionize the manufacturing process. All right, it's a lot of words to use for what we.
Well, see, here's the thing: not everybody who manufactures high-level goods is still using the assembly line. So, what's revolutionary about it? You and I know people that are in high-level manufacturing of other goods. They don't all just use a straight assembly line. They're using. So, for everybody that doesn't know, they're using a tree system where essentially 3 different lines are running, and then they're coming together to finish the car. Great, man. I'm really happy for you, and I hope this is a big deal. The consumer needs to know what's the big deal for them, which is the price point, what they're getting for the price point, and what barriers you're breaking. Okay? That's what I'm saying here, is that I'm not telling you that this isn't exciting for inside the Ford Motor Company, but it doesn't change the world for me, the consumer. Now, again, if your argument is wait 10 years, okay, well, I've been waiting 20 plus years on the skateboard idea to lower costs to such a low point, you can't believe how cheap you can buy a car. When's that happen? You got EVs going for 150,000, you got EVs going for 100, you got EVs going for 60. Essentially, right now on mass scale, you only have, from American or international brands besides the Chinese, you only have one real electric car going for in the 30s consistently. It's the Model 3. Consistently selling a lot of units. I don't want anybody in the comments to go, well, this one car is this price. The ones that people are buying. And here we are, man. Like, this is a real topic of conversation of like, how are we losing grip on what is real news to the consumer? And that's what has, the last 5 years, what surprised me, and I think you can probably state your thoughts on this. How have we lost grip on what to talk to the consumer about?
That's such a good point, because it kind of comes into, well, before I get into those thoughts, later on that day, so this was on Monday the 11th that, Ford had this announcement. Later on that day, did you notice some of the Camaro news that was coming out that afternoon?
I saw a little bit of it, but I think I was in such shock. I wasn't really watching anything.
Let me bring this up, dude. I mean, the Chevy Camaro comes back, but not how you remember it. We're talking about an EV. They're going to compete with the Mach-E, my brother. The Mach-E. And we can expect a ZL1 to return with a 1,000 horsepower electric SUV motor. Or a 1,000 horsepower electric SUV, obviously. And you know what? This is going to go for in the 60s. This is where.
Well, guess what? Did you see the Chrysler 300 news?
No, but I heard rumblings that might be because it's their only car essentially.
Yeah, Chrysler. Well, it's not the 300 is going to be reborn by 2028 or 2029. Somewhere, $65,000 starting price. It's EV. Okay.
Right. Cool.
I mean, okay. What have you guys solved? What are you guys solving? You're not solving anything.
So to go back to what you just asked prior to me bringing up this Camaro news is that what I'm thinking is because there's so many people that had to double down, and we've talked about the yo-yo effect of administrations, governments, the EVs, all these kind of push, the green push, whatever. But the people that understand this isn't going, the push for EV isn't going the direction that they maybe hoped or maybe thought or were planning on, obviously. So we're going to have to go back to some of these combustion, cars and platforms that people want, that people, are asking for. And based on our boy Dorito Donnie's, I should say my boy Dorito Donnie's initiatives, that's what they're having to do. So I think they're pushing off a lot of this stuff onto the consumer to try to recoup some of the money that they've put into this kind of, push of their own for their companies and their platforms and their EVs. Because at least for the next 4 years minimum, I mean, this stuff is not going to sell well with the consumer. This is like getting Gavin Newsom in front of a podium with his slick hair trying to tell you why he should be president of the United States. That's not going to go over well with most Americans. These cars.
And by the way, we're also years and years away. We got to realize, man, all these announcements where you're telling people to just, hey, here's an announcement, wait 2 years. I mean, the news cycle now isn't even 24 hours. The news cycle is hour by hour.
It's dude.
I mean, do car companies not realize that the news cycle is not 2 years, 1 year? It's not even 1 hour. I mean, you could send me something at 8 a.m. and by 9 a.m. you're sending me something new, and we've already forgot what you sent me at 8 a.m. Yeah. And we still think that we're in a world where we got to give an announcement 2 years ahead of time. Like, and then that announcement 2 years ahead of time doesn't seem to be fixing anything that you're already unhappy about as a consumer today. So again, I know that manufacturing cars isn't easy. We need to always say that. I don't envy what these car companies have to do. We have to be fair as consumers. But guys, then just don't say anything. Actually go behind the scenes and perform. That's why I say these performances are for their board, for the Wall Street investor. They're not for the consumer. They're losing more and more touch with the consumer. And I was thinking about this. Explorer and Expedition should have already been through a thorough redesign during his 5-year tenure. It's not. Mustang is losing sales rapidly. They're just riding it out. Hey, here's a $350,000 one, which we all cheer on, but come on. As the model you're selling to the average consumer is falling in sales, you have no halo over the brand the way you're watching Corvette halo the Chevy brand. Mm-hmm. You have, I think, an immense amount of recalls.
The most.
And this is the dog and pony show that we call the Model T moment. Not cleaning up the brand, not fixing what's going on, not cleaning up your input costs, which have hurt Ford for generations now, not bringing, the Maverick to the U.S. at the scale you should have the last 5 years. Let's just call a spade on that one. They may have missed the window of when they could have sold infinitely more of Maverick from 2020 to 2025. They just simply couldn't produce on the level that they should have been able to. And then turns out this is what we were doing. And I don't have a problem with this project, but to say that this would be the Model T moment for Ford would be cleaning up the brand. Yeah. That would be the Model T moment. Really. I mean, if you were talking about what you've watched, the fiasco of recalls that they continue to have, that they've always had, the quality control concerns, the things like that, that's cleaning up. And I like the guy. I mean, it's hard not to like Jim Farley because he says what's on his mind. He's exactly what you want if you're somebody that just likes to watch this stuff. Look, man, he either felt, him and his team have felt some type of pressure over their job or they don't do this. That's my read, because now they know Jim Farley's guaranteed himself 7 years of the decade. Right? And you can sit here and believe what you want, that these people aren't preserving their jobs at times. That's just human nature. Every one of these executives, every one of you, every one of us, we've all tried to preserve our job at some point. That's what this feels like. And I'm not saying it's not a big announcement internally, but this wasn't a big announcement for you, the consumer, because you can already buy a $30,000 truck from Ford. So I don't know what this solves. I really don't. And I'm prepared to also say this could change things in the future. When they get this off the ground and really figure it out, cool, man, I'll sign off on that. But you don't announce it in 2025 unless you're trying to play to the board and the investor. That's what this was.
The next time that this is announced by Ford, I want to see something that's the equivalent of Elon launching a rocket and catching it with the metal arms. Like, that better be what I see from Ford. Like,
just do something. How about just launch the car in the air with like an excavator and throw it up and make a video of it and say, look how high we can throw this. Just do something.
Team up with Whistling Diesel and throw the car somewhere.
Yeah, just do something.
Make a yo-yo out of it. I don't know. Use a transformer.
Drive it into the Grand Canyon and have a stuntman jump out of it. Just do something.
Anything would be better. So before we move on, I know since I brought up the Camaro, by the way, you have famously called what did you call the Hummer? It was a GM parts bin mobile or something like that?
Oh, yeah, the EV Hummer. Oh, yeah, it's just but I mean, that's GM's kind of MO of their history, too.
So these EVs, these Camaros, these potential SS, ZL1s are basically going to borrow a lot of the triple motors or whatever that are in the Hummer EV. So again, like I was saying, we got to push some of this stuff. How do we sell more of this stuff without having to sell the thing that's not selling to maybe rebrand it?
Well, so then I would ask this question. If we're repurposing it through all of these different things, shouldn't that bring the economy of scale, bring the price down?
You would think, my man.
But that's not what happens. And so again, I have talked very middle of the road about EV, understanding the global implications, understanding driving price down, understanding, hey, some people are tired of the gas engine, some people want less maintenance, all good. I'll listen to those arguments. The economy of scale was supposed to rapidly bring down the price of cars. Okay, if they were on this quote-unquote multi-use platform, motors, whatever. We aren't really seeing that. A $60,000 Camaro, if it was an ICE engine, you guys would be like, what the hell are they doing? So now we're just going to be like, yeah, well, it's an EV. It's got to be 60 grand. It's like, well, okay, man, like, I guess. But you guys aren't buying them.
No.
I mean, the Mach-E had its moment. It's now kind of stalled out, and I think they did a good job on it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if they wouldn't have had supply issues when I was looking for a car, I would have had the Mach-E for my family, driven it around a couple years, see what it was all about. I believed in what they were doing. The problem is they can't sustain.
Yeah.
It's just a wild thing. And to have Mustang falling, the SUV lineup be very underwhelming and really in need of a facelift. The issues they're struggling with inside Lincoln, when I think Navigator's been done well, but don't forget it was what Nautilus or Aviator had to go through a stop production because there's things to concern yourself with in Ford, and this seems like just another thing of we're just going to take our eye off the ball. Okay, man. Like, I hope this works out, but I look at it and I just go, I'm so underwhelmed by these announcements from every company. It's not just Ford. It's like when Toyota says, hey, we're bringing the small truck. I mean, they're 5 years away from being 5 years away. That's now what we have to come to grips with as a consumer. And they don't understand the life cycle. News is an hour-by-hour thing because of social media. They think they can still make announcements 5 years ahead of time, 2 years ahead of time, 3 years ahead of – I mean, Chrysler 300, 2028. You're going, this just isn't news.
Nick's rubbing his eyes like, am I dreaming right now? Is this some kind of air in the car world?
It's crazy.
Listen, we haven't said this in a while, but we've had such a spike in the audio portion of the show. I know we got clips and videos and everything everywhere all day, every day. But on the audio portion for iTunes and Spotify, huge spike in listeners. We appreciate that. So if you're new to the show, I know we're 20 minutes in, and I know you're still here hanging on, every word that we're saying. Welcome to the #1 fastest growing automotive podcast on planet Earth. We talk about news, obviously, car news, current events, market trends, predictions, but obviously, more importantly, offer you a good hang every single Monday. And if you want to send us an email, it's clutchculturepodcast@gmail.com. We'll get to one or two this episode, but we don't want to do it I told Nick, I don't want to do it every week because we don't want to spoil them with just reading all of their emails every week. You know, like you guys are great. We got to give you the hot takes before we read all of your emails. But yeah, it's clutchculturepodcast@gmail.com and obviously Clutch Culture Pod. Let me get it right this time. All over.
There you go.
On our socials. But listen, since we've already kind of beat Ford down on all the bad stuff, did you hear the news on the new Shelby Super Snake, and have you seen it if not?
Hey, I saw it, but I didn't read all the news about it. Yeah, it looks pretty. They got a wide body kit on it?
Dude, it looks sick. Check this out.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's doing it right. So exclusive behind the scenes from Hot Rod here, Shelby's new 2026
I love
Super
this.
Snake
You know what this is now? Track ready.
What is this?
That's like a
is
new
very
thing now. It's like everybody's got to tell you
is
it's
a
going to
new
be great on the track. None of you go to the track, but yeah, it's track ready.
Listen, it's a dark horse Mustang with a ton of suspension work that takes a Super Snake badge to new performance levels on track. And as somebody who's looking at Mach 1s with the handling package that is very track ready, I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to take it to the track more than likely, even though I've got 3 of them within an hour, distance of me. It's just a cool thing to have, going back to the cool factor. And people hated the videos that we made. Not everyone, but a lot that you said, you guys don't take this to the track. Track days aren't a thing. The tracks need improvement and need somebody to save them because so few people actually go to the tracks.
It's all BS.
And it's a matter of the fact, guys. Like, it's okay. Like, how many times have you been to the track, Nick, in the last 2 years, 3 years? I think I've been twice. And they were really like half.
Yeah, I go to special events randomly, that I get invited to. We have a track outside of Vegas. Like if somebody invites me
you
to
didn't get up and say, I'm going to go to the track this weekend, right?
No, and 99% of everyone listening or following doesn't either. I mean, that's why I said you can buy most tracks with a bag of oranges. I mean, everyone's trying to unload the track. I mean, every one of them's for sale. Trust me. If you want to give them a little bit of cheddar and maybe throw in a bag of oranges, you can buy a lot of the tracks around the U.S. for sure. And again, I want it to be more popular, but again, it's price prohibitive. It's price prohibitive. Yeah. I mean, sets of tires, different wheels, all the makeup that goes with a guy doing it on his own. I want it to be more popular. I'd love if it was more popular. That'd be great. The stats tell us that it isn't. And again, we're now using track ready to sell a car, which I think is cool. Okay, that Super Snake looks great, right? It looks great. And I'm curious what the price point's going to be.
I'll tell you what, before I tell you the price, because I got to look for it, I'm more focused on getting the interest in cars back than I am track focus ready cars or people that are ready to go to the track, because I'm looking for people to want to get a license at 16, right? Not 21 or 25. I want people to get interested in the world of cars, not can I have a track ready car to go to a track day? Like that's
well, and by the way, at 16, you're not going to buy a $95,000 car, right? I mean, that's the other part of it. I mean, we have to understand the dynamics we're playing with here. I mean, I love that any car company is investing in something sports car adjacent, sports cars themselves. We need to root that on because they're largely disappearing. And any time that these companies stay with it, we should encourage that and be like, yes, I'm glad they're doing it. That's why I said, hey, this car looks cool from what I've seen. It looks like they're doing something unique. But again, they're kind of doubling down on a platform that's losing sales as well. So we have to give both sides of the coin here. Is Mustang due for a complete facelift and rethinking of what Mustang can be long term? They don't seem to be interested in that. They doubled down with GTD on the same platform. They're now double downing with the Super Snake. And I'm cool with those cars being built. But if you're talking about long term, they can't sell the average Mustang at the level they need to be able to.
No, and people hated when I made this comment months ago, but let's just start diving into the world of four-door Mustangs and wagon Mustangs. Like, you already did the Mach-E. You put it's sacrilegious to put it on an EV, but you did it anyway. It sold well for a while. Let's just try that with the four-door, the family car. But, for pricing, so the GTD, we thought, or we said it's $325, $327 is what I remember seeing. This one, $100,000 less, $224, $225 is where it's going to start.
Whoa. Whoa.
My guy, if you say it's a dark horse with suspension bits and I guess a wide body package here, are you joking? I can get a 50, 55, I guess, some of them. If
I got a crazy thought. I mean, what are you getting you're in ZR1 territory.
225.
You're in C8
just about
ZR1.
That's cool. Yeah.
I mean, you're in real heavy hitter territory. I mean, you're talking about there is a bunch of exotic cars you can pick up for less than 220. I mean, name the brand. I mean, you may have to go 2 years old, 3 years old. I get it. But I mean, anytime you start talking about you're 150 plus, I mean, hell, you're in GT3 territory at
Pretty
this
much.
point with that. I mean, so we're talking about track ready. And that's been my argument about GT3 is that if you just want an out of the box track ripper, I mean, it's going to be hard to find something better than a GT3, right? Just out of the box, not have to touch it, not have to do much. I mean, that's kind of what's funny about people driving them to the dentist. But I mean, you're in an insane price point. And again, I understand the argument that if you do enough to the car, that it's going to cost what it's going to cost. But this shows that Ford has an input problem to it. I mean, is it going to be infinitely better than a Z06, which you can pick up for what, 75 grand less?
I mean, I don't think so, but
100 grand less?
We're cynical podcasting automotive journalist over here.
I mean, I want to root it on, but this is what I mean. I mean, they're losing touch with you, the consumer.
Yeah.
Especially the Ford brand seems right now to be very not in tune with the consumer. And I know we can say that about other brands. We just happen to be talking about a Ford here. But 220 plus, when Z06 is cheaper, out of the box, again, somebody's going to say this or say that. It's going to be hard to beat that, infinitely. You're not that far from ZR1 territory. You're now in GT3 territory. Used, I understand. You're in new 911 turbo territory. I don't know, man. You're taking a real big swing at something that doesn't seem like the price point was the thought inside that executive decision on what was going on here.
Let's cleanse the palate with one of the favorite topics of the internet when it comes to our show. It's Toyota. Okay, so I got a text here just now. It's a text. What you could tell was copy and pasted from a dealership that was sent to this individual. This is insert dealership here. We're finished servicing your Toyota Tundra and have provided you an estimated offer of $46,175 for your 2021 Toyota Tundra. Please contact the dealership if you're interested. They bought this in 2021, brand new 0 miles, TRD Pro, for $56,000, and now in 2025 they're being offered $46,100 for it.
Is he selling it?
No, he's like, I just got an oil change. I was like, that's such a dealership thing. He goes, yeah, no, I'm not selling it. He goes, isn't this what you guys would consider cheap mileage? And I was like, damn, son. I go, you selling? He goes, no, I went to go get an oil change.
Yeah, no, it is. Look, people had a real visceral reaction to your clip that you did with the bow tie and Ben's guy, just because the guy gave him the math on. Yeah. We have a very visceral reaction to mathematics now on the internet.
Math cannot math these days.
People hate math. I don't know if it was like we need to really look at the education system, the home life,
whatever. On girl math or something. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, people are way angry about mathematics. Yeah, that's kind of what we said. He's got a post 2020 purchase.
Got the V8,
the used market is insane for Toyotas right now, which is why we said in that clip, and I'll repeat. If you believe Toyotas last a long time, then by all means, guys, you need to be looking older right now, because there's not, with used car financing and the interest rates being where they're at and those kinds of things. I mean, we're just seeing it over and over again. I'm very happy for that guy. Any of you people that have kept some semblance of value in whatever car or truck you've purchased, that's awesome. Like, and Toyota does that. We've never argued that Toyota does a great job with the depreciation scale and showing you guys value there. People seem to conflate that with, when I drive a vehicle that costs $75,000, I want it to feel like a $75,000 car. That doesn't mean I'm saying it's not, you're not going to get good money out of it or whatever. Those are separate conversations. We're talking about driving experience, seating experience, getting around town, those kinds of things. And people conflate depreciation schedule with the conversation about, is the car good enough to warrant you paying $75,000 and feeling like you're getting a $75,000 experience? Those are two different conversations. So for your friend that had this offer, awesome, man, it is cheap mileage. It is cheap mileage, and that's great for him.
Yeah.
And I'm happy for him. That's where it ends. But when people talk about the mathematics, like Benz and Bowtie, the internet flips out. They just don't understand that you're having in a vacuum talk about money. It's not anything else rather than that, other than that. That's what I think people get very angry about.
Yeah, and because we're professionals here, and everything seems to come full circle in this podcast, week after week, 40 weeks into the show. Another clip of Ben's and Boats has actually Doug, we'll just call him Doug, who I don't know if he's watching our stuff or if more. Obviously, a lot of it's getting shared, so it's just getting passed around to different algorithms. But you were talking about test drives. We got emails about people like, thanks for suggesting more test drives. We test drive more cars. So there's a video here about overnight test drives. I'm going to play it. Do you want to play it and then give your feedback, or do you already have thoughts on overnight test drives?
No, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, play it.
Let me just pull it up for you real quick, because I'm sure this will kind of make for a better of a back and forth anyway.
I don't know that I've ever seen anyone buy a car that has requested an overnight test drive.
Really?
Ever.
Okay.
That's not true.
Like a joyride or not?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Free car for the weekend.
Yeah.
Right?
I've vouched for that. I've had that happen before.
Really?
There have been several times where you could tell in the conversation with the client that like the thing holding them back from a decision was, they kind of needed to live with it for a day.
Okay.
So if we offer it, it's a different story.
Okay.
I'm just telling you that in 14 years, never once has a client asked for an overnight test drive. People don't even know what that is, right? So
Yeah.
if they are asking for it,
If you need a little bit longer of a test drive, like an extended test drive to, go to the grocery store, how it is getting things in and out of the car and, just living with it for a couple hours, I can probably make that happen.
why isn't he going back to the dealer he got this from?
He was just like, I feel like he said that they had just agreed to everything. They didn't even make him test drive the car. It's kind of like they just had everything, kind of done. He was like, usually we don't test drive cars.
This is why you should always test drive it,
Yeah.
no matter how sure you are.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I've ever.
Yeah, so let's play something here. He is probably not talking about VIP clients that buy lots of stuff that say, hey, send me that car, let me drive it around for a while and I'll get back to you. Mm-hmm. I can name just through Mercedes here, I got probably 3 or 4 clients that do that consistently. So I'm not saying he's not telling the truth because I'm not him, but the fact is that he's got VIP clients at his dealership that 100% say, hey, I don't know if I'll really like a G-Wagon. Give it to me for a couple days so I can see if I'll like it. That happens at his dealership because it happens just through my limited amount of clients that I work with on purchasing their vehicles. We have it happen here. And that would be technically multi-day, sometimes a week, those types of things. So the average person, he's right. The people that maybe have never purchased from your dealership and they ask for an overnight test drive, would that be something he'd probably go, yeah, look, man, they're just trying to work the system. Yeah, I could see that, but he certainly knows there are VIP clients that their dealership is working with, that they just send them a car anytime they ask to see if they would like it, and they keep it for 1 day, 3 days, 5 days, hell, 3 weeks, whatever they want, because they know that person's bought 5, 10, 15, 20 vehicles from them, if not more. That's I think he's talking in general consumer, but at his dealership, they're sending their VIP clients a car if they ask for it. Come on.
Yeah, it just didn't make sense. Like in 14 years, and never once, I'm like, okay, I understand what you're doing now. Like you're almost rage baiting people into commenting on the video that you're making, which is kind of part of
Yeah, and then by the way, I like I'm going to say this. Yeah. He's a guy I'll defend because I do think he's showing the real. I also think we have to understand that when we talk to the general consumer, the VIP client of an expensive dealership car is getting treated vastly different than the average consumer walking in to buy a car. And what he's not doing is giving you the real of both. He's talking about general consumers saying, I want to test drive a C300 overnight. It's like, yeah, they're probably not going to buy it. I mean, that I would agree with. But if somebody's bought a bunch of S500s, S600s, whatever, Maybachs from you and says, hey, I want to test drive this for a week, they're definitely doing that.
Let me ask you this. When someone's buying a used car and you go to the lot, because I've seen a lot of videos like this in the past, and they pull up the Carfax, or they end up finding out that the car was imported, usually from like Canada. What are your thoughts on buying a Canadian car in the U.S., either as a second buyer or a third, fourth even, once it's on there?
Yeah, I mean, if you're buying through a dealer and they've already taken care of all the import and all that kind of stuff, look, you're looking for the obvious things. Is there rust? How is the car taken care of? Can you get any kind of records on the car? It's a very different conversation talking about you having to handle all the imports. I think largely most of the people out there don't bother. You're just going to get a headache you don't really want. Not saying it's hard, but you know what I mean? Like the average consumer just wants an easy purchase, right? That's why dealerships still exist. They just want things to be made easy. That's why CarMax does so well. Historically, here's one price, and you're going to pay this, and we're going to get the paperwork done. We're going to get you in and out of here. So all of that kind of stuff. If the car has come from somewhere else, but the dealer or the used guy has already done all of the work, I don't have a problem taking a look at it. I wouldn't be overly concerned. I'd just check for the normal stuff, rust, how it was taken care of, et cetera.
So if the person was like, how does this affect, or does it matter that it might have more of or will it even have more of a ding when it comes to resale or trade-in later?
It could, but again, everything you're talking about when it comes to trading in, from an exotic to a normal car, is all about how long are you going to keep it? How many miles are you going to put on it? Is it a desirable car? This seems to be another thing people need to hear more often. We had this with the modification conversation, okay? A desirable platform where you modify to fix factory defects, you're going to get your money out of it. Taking a car and doing whatever modifications you want to it that don't necessarily mean the general public knows that they should be done, and you're doing it with cheap products and this mishmash of manufacturers of aftermarket that nobody knows, yeah, man, you're not getting your money back, right? So it's the same thing with your used car. Can Canada or another country ding the resale value if you're trying to resell it after you own it in the States? It could, but if it's a highly desirable car, it's not going to ding it. I mean, but again, that's what we have to always repeat, is that there's levels to desirability, and if you got a really desirable car, very rarely do things ding it besides, crazy mods or things that of that nature.
So speaking of, I had a couple of notes here. We've had this conversation on and off the podcast, you and I, several times, and even here recently too. The game is, one, we've talked about cheap miles, and we'll continue to talk about that. Buying correctly, don't buy everything or anything in the F&I office, and you'll win. But also platform, right? Specific, like the game is platform and mods to the platform. So we also talked about, you and I on the phone, doing things right and just getting it done, right? There's a lot of conversations to be had, and I think a lot of that also shifts the person's perspective on what they expect to win or lose when it comes to the purchasing or the selling of these cars, no matter what it is, exotic or regular car, right? Yep. I know you have a lot of thoughts on this.
Yeah, look,
BMW or Lexus.
Yeah, getting jobs done and then doing things right are two different things, okay? A lot of us in our car world, modifications-wise, just want to get it done. We always talk about the guys that love to tune cars. To really tune cars at a high level is pretty pricey. I mean, to really do it to a high level that people are going to respect and go, oh, you really paid the money to do it correctly. Getting the job done on a wheel package, on an engine tune, on aftermarket, front splitter, whatever, is very different than doing it correctly to the highest level. And doing things that provide value to the next owner. Now, we all do modifications for one reason, because we like them. Like most of us know, or maybe some people don't know, if you ever need to resell, let's just say a BMW M3, and you have a really high quality HRE, or you have a BBS or whatever, you're still going to have better resale by putting the original wheel and tire package back on the car. Okay? I mean, Bring a Trailer will tell you that. Cars and Bids will tell you that. Auctioneers will tell you that. Put the stock stuff back on it. Just offer the set of wheels as bonus, but you can probably kiss the money goodbye on your wheels and tires. You want to know why? Not everybody loves your taste. Doesn't matter how high quality. So wheels and tires are one of those things you go, I'm doing it because I want to do it. I'm doing it because I want to personalize my car, okay? But when you go to sell the car, put the stock stuff back on it. I'm telling you, every auction will tell you that. And that's okay. But in the BMW world, if you go and do cheap aftermarket parts when you could have just done the dine-in system is well respected through the BMW community, okay? And you guys all know what's respected in your community out there of cars that you're modifying. If you don't choose to do the highest quality modifications from the most trusted source and then have them installed in a high quality way, yeah, man, you can probably kiss your money goodbye on most things. Right?
Just like they're just sitting there doing the math right now, like, damn, I really want this, but I know I'm going to lose my shirt, as we've talked about. Like, do I do it anyway? Most people are going to do it anyway. They're like, you know what? I'm going to enjoy it.
Which, by the way, we're all for.
fine.
I'm all
Yeah,
for
for
you
sure.
doing with whatever you want with your car.
Foolishness. When Nick's about, we're both
I
about
love foolishness. I love it. I love it. I mean, it's like it's my driving force in life is to watch foolishness. Somebody acting crazy on the street, somebody getting in a fist fight that I can watch. Whatever it is, I'm in. But again, when you make a comment that you got burned on modifications, I guarantee if I go look through that car, I can tell you why you got burned. You did things to just get it done. You didn't do the highest quality. You didn't do the things that are accepted in that community as high quality modifications. All acceptable because it's your car, right? Do what you want. But then don't bring it to people that do things to a highest quality on a platform that's highly desirable, right? That's not the same thing. That's not apples to apples. That's apples to oranges.
After all this time of internet car media and car bills and YouTube and all that, what's still astonishing to me is the amount of people that'll go to a comment section and they'll just bring all of their Dave Ramsey information or all of their Money Guy show information and try to rationalize with car enthusiasts as if they don't already know that what they're doing isn't the best financial decision on most cases.
By the way, there's no hobby in the world that doesn't cost you money.
Yeah, it's so weird.
I mean, even if you just run outside and you're like, hey, I run long distances, and you go, the road is free. Well, not technically. If you're a homeowner, you pay taxes for the roads. If you live in the city, okay. Not only that, let's talk about this. You got to buy running shoes.
Exactly.
I'm guessing you buy running clothes. I'm guessing you buy running socks. I'm guessing you buy,
gel packs.
Gel packs. I'm guessing you buy, fitness trackers, right? And I mean, that's probably the most affordable, quote unquote, hobby you can have because you're running outside.
But
you know what I mean?
Cars get, bro. The scrutiny that cars get because you can more easily compare that to your life circumstances and where you can be in 5 years if you don't do this, or in 10 years, or in 2 years if you don't do this. It's just really bizarre to me. And I know a lot of these people are smarter, than the average, non-car person, and yeah, they might make some irresponsible decisions from time to time, but again, it's the hobby. It's the fact that you're making the purchase because, like you've said several times, it's an enjoyment factor that you're trying to get out of this thing. Whether it's the running high or the RPM high, it doesn't matter. Like, it's so crazy. It's lost on people.
It doesn't matter if you're buying a 1980s VW, and that's what you're into. And you're not chasing speed. You're just chasing like, hey, man, I remember when I was growing up, I really loved this thing. Okay, whatever it is. And you have the chance to buy it. A lot of people don't realize about car enthusiasts. A lot of us are trying to capture something we weren't able to afford back then.
Absolutely.
Okay, and we're just like, I just want to feel what I felt back then. And some car enthusiasts are like, I want the latest and greatest. Right? There's different levels to this, different things. There's some of you that love lifted trucks. There's some of you that love sports cars. There's some of that love the off-road world. And there's some of you that go, hey, man, I wish I could have really bought this, 7 Series BMW in 1999. And I know it's a bad purchase, but I always wanted to own one. You know what I mean? And it's like that's what people leave out of this is some of it is just, I want to go back to a time where I wish I had this money and I just want to relive what I thought. There's a bunch of great TikTok and Instagram accounts now that are going to these like small car communities where guys are buying stuff from the 90s and early 2000s, and every one of them says the same thing, like, always wanted to own it, and I'm never going to sell this, and they're putting all this money into it. And you go, they're not chasing speed. They're not all they are chasing is, I always wanted to have this thing, and it's not special to me, and it's not special to you and many of you listening, but this one guy, this is what his hobby is about, is just capturing a time in his life when he wasn't able to afford it. And now he can go back and go, I'm going to relive that time my way. It's just like people going and seeing the Rolling Stones still. I can't believe people go and see the Rolling Stones. I mean, you want to, and I've had people give me tickets like, hey, you want to go see the Rolling Stones in Vegas? I said, why would I want to go see 90-year-old guys? I mean, you're kind of getting this way with Metallica. Like, I'm a Metallica guy.
Hey.
Okay?
Yeah.
Another 5, 6, 7 years, it's probably run its course. Okay, it's probably time to go. Hey, you know.
Listen, I heard funny thing. Two things. Megadeth just announced their final album, and that's going to start their farewell tour. So we got that coming up. But also, there's going to be a residency, I think, at the Sphere in Vegas. And I told Nick, I was like, "Hey, bro, if anything comes across your table," he goes, "Yeah, okay, because we're not going to be $10,000 a ticket. Like, what do you want me to do here?" Like,
yeah, no, and I think it's one of these things. Like, but I also, when somebody loves the Rolling Stones and they go, "Hey, man, they were around when I was young."
Sure.
I just want to go relive my youth. You go, all right, brother, I get it. Like, it's not my thing, but I get why you're doing it. The car world is the exact same way. Somebody wants an experience, whether that's a new experience they can afford or they want to go back to this time and relive it. It's not hard to understand, but it is like this thing, like you said, where everybody wants to talk about the money all the time. And let me explain something to you. There's certain things you're going to buy in life you're never getting your money back. I bet you every single one of you has a refrigerator. Let me tell you this. You ain't getting your money back. It's going to break down. You're going to have to get you a new one. Every one of you has a flat screen in your living room. You're going to get some enjoyment, and then it's going to be time to get a new one. You're not going to trade it in for. We do a lot of things that aren't technically great financial decisions if you really want to break it down to ground zero. We can all sit in a blank room, live in a studio apartment, shove our family in there, all sleep in the same room, save all the money, but we don't do that. We don't do
American. That's not American.
Yeah, we want a house we can't afford at a size we don't need.
We want stuff. Speaking of stuff, what's the right size TV? If I had to ask you, if you were gonna like buy a TV for, let's just call it like your media room or even in the living room, what is the best size in your opinion?
So it depends on the room first.
Okay. Oh, how big the room is, yes.
Yeah. Some people have a theater room and some people are in an apartment. So for me, in your living room, somewhere between that 65 and 80 inch, if you have the room, that's pretty much the sweet spot. You get into like, if for anybody that's never been in the projector world, it's pretty expensive to get that stuff to look really, really good. It's coming down, obviously. I know everybody, I'm not an audio-visual expert. I'm sure someone's out there. I'm not trying to hone in on your world. I'll stay in my lane here. But, yeah, man, I mean, that 65 to 80 inch, it's a great experience. Like you get, a great sound system in your living room with a 65 inch to 72 inch, whatever. I mean, that's a great experience.
Yeah, I agree. So we have a 75 in the living room, but this year, I mentioned the first season that I've gotten MLB, the MLB package or whatever, and I'm like, you know what, 100 inch would really kind of set this living room off. It's like, what are you talking about? He's like,
yeah.
We don't need that. I was like, I'm just saying, like, come next season, come 2026.
Yeah. I'm not saying today, but I'm saying it's it now. The wheels are turning. I really could see myself with 100 inch.
I mean, can you imagine Ellie De La Cruz hitting a homer on a 100 inch screen that's like this far away from you?
Ellie, the biggest freak in Major League Baseball, dude.
Dude, yeah, Reds are they're on like teetering. Like, what's gonna happen? They're gonna make a run or they not? Like, I don't know.
They're probably gonna trade Ellie De La Cruz if the last 30 years of my life tells me anything.
We need to recoup some of this money. What?
Hey, Ellie's the man, dude. And by the way, people don't realize how massive that dude is.
Super tall
and super fast.
Oh, dude, it's so fun to watch. It's a good time for sports, man. But look, I got about one or two more stories if we can get to them. But I want to get this question, this email from Luke over to you because I think it's one of your favorite topics, and I'm super exaggerating here. But Luke, been listening for a long time, asks, love the show. What do you think about those scented trees that you hang on your rear view mirror?
Do not do it.
Listen, do you have a preferred scent? I have so many memories of cars having a certain smell or scent, going back to the nostalgia factor, and it instantly brings me back to whenever I smell it. Now, I'm going to say real quick, the black ice ones, those were like every body growing up.
100%.
100%. Do you have one, and what do you think of them?
So for people that don't know, I am very anti-scent in a car. Okay? I understand it if that's your thing. I like cleanliness. I like the cleanliness smell. If you have leather seats, I like the leather smell of the seats. And so a lot of people have scents because they don't realize how dirty their car is. But here's what I'll say, and you guys really need to hear it. I just got sent a photo this week, but I get them all the time, where putting scents in your car, I've seen, the worst I ever saw was, I believe it was an Audi that had a scent thing on the rear view that the whole center console got damaged when that scent kind of started like permeating down to the center console. The whole center console had to be ripped out and fixed.
What?
The picture I got today, and I can share this when we drop this episode on Monday, somebody hung a scent on the stalk of the turn signal, and the plastic around the tree and everything started to peel off. Dang. Okay. Many of you that see like that foggy inside of your windows and windshield, that actually comes from the scents you're hanging or have in there. That stuff's permeating and it fogs up your windows. I don't do that stuff. I understand why people do, but Luke, I'm anti that stuff. I just don't like it. I've never been into it, but I can remember the car wash days when you'd go to those old hand car washes and they'd be like, do you want pina colada? Do you want cherry?
Yeah.
Do you want vanilla?
He's like, back away.
But my family loved them. You know, I love cleanliness. Like the smell of a clean car. If people use our interior cleaner, it's very lightly to no scent, because also I got kind of spoiled being around more expensive cars in my business. And those individuals pay to smell the Ferrari, to smell the Bentley, to smell the leather that's being used. So I get it. That's just my take. But it can cause serious damage, believe it or not. And it happens a lot more often than you think.
There was a video that I edited for Nick a long time ago, and I didn't honestly, dude, because I like the scent of the car, right? Especially if it's kept well and you got leather, the whole, like you said. Yeah. But when you use your interior cleaner, which would have been what was it?
Revive.
It was Revive that usually we use on the car. You were like, hey, here's a hack for you. Use it on here. Dude, and all you did was squirt, wipe it, and it was like night and day difference. And I was like, that came from just, the scent tree? Like, that's nuts.
Yeah. No, you got to think of it like a vape almost. I mean, if the guys out there that have ever seen the inside of a car where somebody vapes inside there, I mean, you can get a lot of fog. You can get a lot of like buildup on the windows and the glass and that kind of, I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, the damage factor alone just isn't worth it for me. Now, there's things you can spray into the carpet that are deodorizers that can start to eat away at some of those bad smells, but cleanliness rules the day to have your car smell the best it can smell.
Would the carpet system be the deodorizer you'd recommend?
Our carpet system has an enzyme in it. Like if you use our enzyme, it'll clean up a lot of smells. Yeah. So, it's literally an enzyme eats away at bacteria and things like that. So it's a great starting point for people if they go into our system and you go, hey, my car's kind of funky. Take this and scrub your carpets a little bit. You'll get a lot of the funk out.
Dude, that's awesome. I will say, like I said, the black ice was mine growing up, and every Fox body, everybody had that in their cars. And then there was a local feed store, Mr. Newless, shout out. He had these. They were just like little squares, but it was scented with leather and like cinnamon. And I'm like, I had cloth seats at the time. I was like, this makes me feel like I'm driving a car with leather in it, so I'm just gonna go with it.
Yeah. I'm just gonna put it under the seat and be like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Exactly. Hey, these new cloth leather seats, you can smell them.
Right. Well, in all fairness, the SRT4 had they had the Viper quote unquote seats where it had leather like on the inserts. And
look, here's exactly what we say. I mean, parts bends. Hey, we're gonna put this in the Viper. We're gonna put this in the Neon. We're gonna put this in the
slander of the Neon. No slander of the Neon. All right, one last thing before we land the plane. Not that it's that important to most people, but the new Toyota Land Cruiser screens are, I guess, making an update. I didn't even know there were already at like interior upgrades for these Land Cruisers.
So I was looking at something. Somebody sent me a picture of a car they were looking at, and I'll give them credit there. Look, at least it's buried into the. It's buried into the design. You got to give them some credit. They put a little outline on it, better than most. But I think, again, I would ask people this, and this is one of the things that I wonder if everybody else sees it this way. I'd be curious of everyone's opinion. Somehow we got to get back to screen design where it's like the whole thing looks natural. This looks a little more natural, but it's still, obviously they made the tachometer and all that kind of stuff taller to fit the screen that they were going to put beside it, right? Mm-hmm. So it's still a little bit not into the flow of the entire dash, but it's better than most. Let's give them credit on that. But what I want to see is I just like things that look like. I never thought I'd say this, but like, can we get back to just some elegance to how we put the screens into the front of the car and not where it's just like hanging out the top, or we made the tachometer area so much bigger. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Like, I know it's a minor thing, but I think you would be surprised how much more enjoyable sitting in a car would be. Just, I mean, because you don't need the speedometer that big. It's only that big to make sure that the screen doesn't stick out.
Oh, that's a good point. You know what? I was overlooking this. You're right. There's so much just empty dead space.
Yeah. Look how much plastic is around that, just because they knew they needed to fit the screen. Now, to their credit, they go, we'll just make this look like one piece, which is better than what most companies are doing. Like you showed the GTI where they just plopped the screen on top of the vents, and they're like, you'll be good with it. It's like, I don't know, man. Like, can we give a little thought to just? And again, you got to give them credit. At least there's some buttons there. You got to give them credit. There's some buttons.
Back to that, you said at the very top of the show, and that's a good place to kind of land, is that people, when you reply or I or anybody replies, that like it's just cheaper for them to do everything in the screen versus the buttons. Like, it's funny how many people that doesn't click with it. They're like, oh, that is more efficient. That is more cost effective. Like, that's why they're all doing it. But I think they're gonna have to revert back, bro. Like,
there's some companies that are. I hate to use the word the right way, but guys, if I have to dig through a screen, they've already done studies on this. Anytime you got to dig through your screen, your eyes aren't on the road.
Yeah.
So the buttons are more than just an enthusiast complaining about no buttons. There's actually a safety issue too. A knob to turn up your radio up and down. It's intuitive. It's like the reason the yoke on the Tesla was kind of silly is because a round steering wheel is pretty intuitive. Like let's just stay with what works. I get we all want to do something special here, but there's certain things that are intuitive to the way you drive a car, and being able to turn your AC up and down and do it quickly and not have to dig through a menu. Like, there's a safety element, but realize, again, as they're telling you all this stuff is for safety and they're burying things deep inside of a touchscreen, how much do they really care about safety? You got to balance the words they're using with the actions they're doing.
Do you have any, and this is my last question for you today, do you have any interior gripes, even if we are talking about buttons, not screens, but just buttons, where the placement of this brand's button, any button it could be, that you're just like, I hate this button is here?
Oh, do you anybody that ever remembers the track pads? Like the track pads on like Lexus, I think Acura may have done it.
Acura. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, horrible. I mean, it was literally not hindsight 2020 dumb. It was dumb the minute you used it. So again, we always talk about how many people tested this system that go, "Yep, we nailed it." And then the first day you get in it, or the one time you get in it, you go, "Oh my God, this thing's awful." Not one person said a word at the manufacturer. They're like, "Yeah, this is great." That was the worst thing I ever saw. There was something called for those of you that bought Escalades years ago, not that long ago, maybe a decade ago, they had a Q system. It was the most egregious infotainment system in the history, because it was like kind of haptic and not haptic, and then you would touch something, your volume would go all the way up because you were like, it was horrible. I mean, it was absolutely, that should have been changed the day they knew they had a problem. They should have been like
10 years.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. I've had some weird stuff. I mean, I haven't owned that many Audis, but their volume button was always on the center console of certain Audis. I thought it was completely. It was completely stupid. I mean, it was just stupid.
Yep, the Mazda. They have it in the center console, and I'm just like, that is my big, because I'm always reaching for. I want the knob here. I want the volume knob in front of me.
It's okay to not overthink the room and go, you know what's really good? The volume knob where everybody knows the volume knob should be. It's okay.
But, you rattled off 3 or 4 of them, and I knew somehow the volume button was going to be in there. I just knew it. I'm like,
the center console volume button. I mean, again, if it's your car, you get used to it, whatever. But if you're jumping in multiple cars, let's say your family car has a normal volume button, and then you jump back in your car after driving the family car on the weekend, you're like, where's the volume? It's just like, guys, we all know where it should be. We all know where it should be.
Brands are going to listen to this. I'm telling you, they're going to listen to conversations like this, because even if your infotainment knobs are in the console, cool. If you have CarPlay, do you ever even touch the rest of the knobs on the center console car?
That's a good point.
No, you don't. You only go for the volume, which you're still doing this, but it's down here. It's like, that doesn't make any sense.
I don't know how I would really like to hear it. I've always struggled with the controls on the steering wheel.
Really?
Because, I mean, it's just not intuitive to me. I mean, you got to realize.
Yeah, buttons or wheels or what?
Either one of them, because I always just reach for whatever I want to do. I know it's a bad habit. Whatever I want to do, I reach for what I was trained for decades to do. As soon as things started to go into the steering wheel, and this could just be a me thing, I always got to like look down and go, okay, where's this, where's that? But I'm in so many different cars in my life that I go, I just don't know where everything is. This is a Mercedes, this is an Audi, this is a Lexus, and they didn't standardize the steering wheel buttons.
That's true.
You know, and I'm like, I just don't know where everything's at.
Yeah, I would agree with that and say that the wheels for the volume or anything else, that is my biggest pet peeve of the steering wheel part. So the volume for the car itself, and then the volume, what's just so silly to me. I like the buttons, 2 buttons, skip, fast forward, go up and down. We're good to go. Volume knob, let's go.
Like it.
But all right, guys, thanks for tuning into the podcast. Leave us a review on Apple or give 5 stars on Spotify if you enjoy the show. Send us an email, clutchculturepodcast@gmail.com. Nick, we will see everybody next week.
See you guys.